The Last of Us begins with love being punished. Joel's old life collapses in one night, and the loss that follows does not make him heroic. It makes him guarded, bitter, and afraid of ever needing another person again. 20 years later, America is not simply ruined. It has learned to survive without becoming kind. Quarantine zones, armed patrols, smuggling route, and empty cities turn ordinary life into something hard, controlled, and suspicious. In Boston, Joel survives by keeping his world small. He has work, contacts, and instincts, but almost no hope. The man we meet is not looking for redemption. He is trying to avoid feeling anything that could break him again. Tess understands Joel better than almost anyone. Their work is practical and dangerous, but it is also empty. When the Fireflies enter their path, the job looks like another transaction, not the beginning of a relationship that will change him. The Fireflies believe the world can still be repaired. That belief makes them dangerous and necessary at the same time. They are not just rebels in the background. They are the group willing to risk everything on the idea that humanity can still have a future. Marlene knows Ellie is not just another survivor. Ellie has been beaten and lived. To the Fireflies, that means possibility. A cure is no longer a myth. It has a face, a name, and a child's voice. Joel does not begin by loving Ellie. He begins by moving her. She's cargo, a problem, a mission he did not ask for. That emotional distance matters because the whole story is about watching that distance slowly fail. Ellie refuses to become silent cargo. She jokes, asks questions, notices the world, and keeps speaking even when Joel wants quiet. Her presence irritates him because she brings life into a part of him that he has deliberately kept locked away. Once Ellie's immunity is clear, the mission becomes heavier. She is no longer only a girl being smuggled out of Boston. She's a possible answer to the infection, and that possibility begins to divide how everyone sees her. Tess's final request forces Joel to keep moving. She sees Ellie as something worth protecting, not because she knows Ellie deeply, but because she believes the chance Ellie represents might matter more than one life. Outside the quarantine zone, Joel and Ellie enter the real shape of the broken country. Overgrown roads, empty buildings, and silent neighborhoods show that the old world did not disappear all at once. It was slowly swallowed. Bill's town shows survival without trust. It is clever, fortified, and lonely. Bill has built a system that keeps him alive. But the town also warns Joel what life looks like when protection becomes the only form of love left. Joel keeps insisting that Ellie is not his responsibility beyond the mission. He corrects her, shuts down memories, and refuses emotional language. But denial is not the same as distance. Every danger they survive together pulls him closer. Ellie learns the road with a mix of fear, humor, anger, and curiosity. She is not naive. She has grown up inside the aftermath. What makes her powerful is that she still wants the world to mean something. The infected are not the only threat. In the ruins, people have built new systems of violence and control. The story keeps reminding us that infection ended the old world, but human choices decide what replaces it. Henry and Sam reflect Joel and Ellie back at themselves, an older protector trying to keep someone younger alive. Their story hurts because it shows that love can be desperate, devoted, and still powerless against the world around it. After Henry and Sam, Joel and Ellie do not suddenly become honest. Instead, the silence between them changes. They both understand that they are becoming important to each other, and that importance is exactly what makes the journey frightening. Tommy's settlement proves that community is still possible. People are not only hiding or fighting. They are building, repairing, and choosing each other. For Joel, that possibility is uncomfortable because it proves he could live differently. Joel tries to hand Ellie to Tommy because he is scared. He frames it as logic, but the emotion underneath is obvious. Ellie has become someone he can lose, and Joel's first instinct is to run from that truth. Ellie's confrontation with Joel cuts through every excuse. She knows he's pushing her away because she matters. Her fear is not only death or infection, it is being left by the person she has started to trust. When Joel chooses to stay with Ellie, the story changes. It is no longer only honoring Tess or completing a job. He is choosing Ellie himself. That choice is tender, but it also creates the emotional trap of the ending. The university feels like hope within reach. Joel and Ellie search for the Fireflies, believing the journey may finally connect to a cure. But the empty campus shows how often hope moves on before the survivors arrive. When Joel is wounded, Ellie becomes the protector. The relationship reverses, and the story proves their bond is not one-sided. She is not just someone Joel saves. She is someone who saves him too. Winter forces Ellie into a colder version of survival. Without Joel fully able to protect her, she carries fear and responsibility by herself. The season shows how much she has grown, and how much the world keeps taking from her. When Joel returns to Ellie, his love is visible through action. But The Last of Us never lets protection stay simple. Joel's need to protect Ellie is real, and that same need will later become the reason he lies. The giraffe moment gives the story a breath of grace. For a few minutes, Joel and Ellie are not fighting, running, or negotiating with a dead world. They are simply watching something gentle still alive. That quiet beauty matters because it reminds us what the cure is meant to save, not politics. Not abstract numbers. Moments like this. A child still capable of wonder, and a damaged man still capable of sharing it. As they approach the hospital, the mission becomes heavier. Ellie understands her immunity may mean something beyond herself. Joel understands it too, but he hears a different question. What will hope ask him to lose? The Fireflies see Ellie as humanity's chance. They have fought for years, lost people, and lived with failure. To them, Ellie is the first real answer the world has given them. Joel sees the girl who crossed the country with him. He sees the person who gave him back the part of himself he buried. To Joel, Ellie is not the cure. She is the child he cannot lose again. The hospital ending hurts because both sides believe they are saving something. The Fireflies believe they are saving humanity. Joel believes he is saving Ellie. The tragedy is that the story does not let both truths survive. Joel's decision is not a simple rescue. It is love, grief, fear, and refusal moving at once. He rejects the Fireflies' future because he cannot survive paying for it with Ellie. This is where the story becomes morally painful. Joel's love is genuine, but in the final act, it also becomes possession. He saves Ellie's life while taking away her chance to decide what that life should mean. Marlene understands more than Joel wants to admit. She knows Ellie matters as a person, but she also believes the world needs what Ellie can give. Her presence makes the ending harder because the opposition is not cartoon evil. After the hospital, the ending does not come from escape, it comes from the lie. Joel tells Ellie a version of events that keeps her close, but it also builds a wall between them. Ellie's final question is quiet, but it carries the whole story. She asks Joel to swear that what he said is true. The question itself proves the bond has already changed. The Last of Us is the story of love returning to a broken man, then becoming something he cannot keep honestly. Joel does not save the world. He saves his world, and the final tragedy is that keeping that love alive requires a lie.